This is the garland attachment. As you can see, it has two bolts here, and these are adjustable for the needle, which will actually can come out, and I'll just kind of give you a demonstration of how that, just by loosening these two bolts, you can adjust this back and forth. And I'll show you where that adjustment comes in when we put the attachment on the machine. Ensuring that the machine is off. Once again, what you'll do for easy access to where you're going to place this attachment, open up the gate. The attachment itself has 4 individual spots where a bolt can go. Inside the opening, or the center of the wheel, there are also holes that will line up so that you can bolt this into place. And what you're doing is you just want to ensure that this is very stationary. Now, in your table there will be some bolts, and all you can do, these bolts are here for a reason, and what you can do is you can use these bolts to attach the garland attachment to the table. And it's a regular screwdriver. Another bolt over here. And I just tighten this up. The pin itself. What you want the pin to do, and why this is adjustable, is that you want the pin to come over the opening in the table approximately 1/8 of an inch. And the reason for that is that when you're making garland, you're going to be pulling the garland or roping as you're making it. And why the pin is there is so that when the wire's coming off the wheel and you're pulling, it actually tightens itself as you're making the garland. We'll shut the gate back up. Now when you're making garland, we're going to move the foot switch over to the side because we're going to make the garland on the side of the machine instead of in the front of the machine. This is garland twine. The garland twine actually is the base for your garland. What you would do is you would feed the garland twine itself into this hole in the garland attachment. It comes out the other side. And so now we're pretty much ready to start making our garland. The thing with garland is that when we were, if you notice my bunches of greens, I had made them small. They're probably like 6 or 7 inches. With garland, you want longer pieces of greens, anywhere from 12 to 15 inches. And it really depends on what you like the look of or what your customer may want for a look. They may want it thin, they may want it thick. We're going to start off with like kind of in the middle. And we'll get started. Now once you get yourself set up, you can turn the machine on. And actually, we'll turn this off because I want to show you what you want to do is the tension adjustment can be the same. What you may want to do is just make sure you get the wire lined up with your garland twine. Now personally, I always like to just wrap the first few twists just so I get it started. You turn the machine on. You're going to pull a little. And what you're going to do is, the reason for the divide is you're going to place your next set of greens on the right and pull. Notice that I'm always pulling. As I'm putting the greens on and I'm starting to wrap, I'm pulling the greens. And that's where that needle comes into play, because the wire is actually sliding off that needle as I pull these greens away from the attachment itself. And all you do is you just keep on alternating. And what a lot of people start to do is you can start to get very fancy with this. A lot of people will make pine, people will make pine, and they'll intermix it with cedar. And other people will put some dried flower mix in there. I've talked to some folks who actually have used holly, and all you do is you continue on making your garland to whichever specific length your customer is recommending, and most people would order like 15 feet, 20 feet, 25 feet. So as long as you're secure with what the length is that the customer is ordering, you can go along and make that individual length. Now when you're finished, what you want to ensure that you do with the length that you have is you want to tie this off. Now, tying this off, all you do is tie the wire to the string itself, to the twine, and just give it a couple slip knots. That way, when the customer gets it home, it won't start falling apart on them because you have tied it off. Now, I've just made, you can see how quickly I made just a small piece of garland. What you can do is, once you get going, of course, everyone is different in how they want their garland to look, but you can use pine, cedar, and as I said, holly. They all make a wonderful garland. To finish up, what I'd like to say and recommend to you for maintenance of the machine, normally there are two things, actually three things, that'll need to be replaced. Your idler wheels, after a certain amount of time, and depending on how much you use the machine during the season, will probably last about 4 seasons. The drive wheel, the same. Recommendation, if you're changing the drive wheel, change the idler wheels. If you're going to change the idler wheels, change the drive wheel, because they all kind of run together, and so if one's gone, chances are the others are too.